went on a training course this week about redundancy. It was run by ACAS. These kind of things are useful to get any tips from anyone else to see if there's things that people are thinking about that might be useful for us to pick up. And there is one. If you've ever been through the redundancy process at all, you'll know that with us, we'll take you through every step, every meeting, every email you need to send to make sure that you're covered. Now, the part that you may do yourself is the redundancy consultation meeting. So this will be the first time or the first of a few times that an employee can discuss, why is this happening? How did you make this decision? How does this affect me? It's their chance to voice anything they've been thinking about. A lot of times, and I don't mean our clients, I mean in general, a lot of times people can brush off this meeting and be like, it's just like a box to tick on the way to the end of the redundancy. This training was useful to remind everyone that your employees will deserve better than that. They deserve for you to explain to them exactly why this is happening, what you can do to support them, what they need to do, etc., so that they know all the detail. Because it's not a nice experience to go through. And if it means that you've got to this point where it has to be done, that's fine. But let's not make a bad situation even worse. And the other thing that is useful is sometimes your employees might know one or two things about the business that you aren't really aware of. That could be a better method than the redundancy you're thinking about. So like, for example, I had a redundancy case a few months ago where an employee said, actually, the revamp that we're doing of the clubhouse is really expensive and we all know that we don't need it. So you could put that on hold and do this redundancy later on in the year. The club decided it was viable and decided to do that instead. Sometimes an employee, it may not always happen, but they might know something or find a different way around the process which helps you and helps them. The training showed us a few tribunal examples of what happens when employers don't take alternatives into consideration. And sometimes they end up in a tribunal because they haven't followed the full process, they haven't done everything necessary, and it looks more like they tried to get someone out rather than viably doing a redundancy. So make sure in that meeting you get as much detail to the employee as they need to know. Treat that meeting importantly. And if they've got any suggestions, make sure you can either evidence this doesn't work for us, and that's fine, or really review it and obviously speak to us, and we'll help out to see whether you should go with it or whether a proposed redundancy would be better.
Thanks for watching. If you want a free tribunal audit of your employment contract and handbook, click the link in the description below.